We designed it as a kind of transitional experience especially for the outgoing cohort. It's like a bridge between their formal student teaching and having their own classrooms.
It's a really nice way to start and to close out. You automatically feel like you're part of the DTE community really quickly. You get to do things with your body right away, and that's not something that you always get to do in graduate classes. And so this PlayWorks training specifically is just a really fun way to sort of physically enter the teaching profession and get to enter our studies.
Actually, the two outgoing students who are working with me in the summer program have reached out to me a lot already. If I need any help, they're answering questions, giving me some advice. And it just helps because right now as an incoming student, it seems a little overwhelming.
We're playing the games, but at the same time, we're synthesizing and we're getting little bits and pieces of really how to integrate this into our own classrooms. And it's very clear because we're the ones doing it and we're the ones experiencing the emotions.
A few things that we aimed to do during the 3 weeks. One is to give them a chance to really hone in on their practice around developing academic language with all students, especially academic language connected to content and then arts integration. So providing a really rich experience.
There's so many very human skills that can be taught and learned through a variety of arts practices. Thinking about what can be learned just from teaching arts directly, be it dance, music, visual arts, but also the idea of making and using your hands and the choices that we make when we are putting things together to make them work. And so down to a very basic level, the way arts allows us to look very closely at our work. And there's a playfulness to it, and I think that's something that needs to be infused into what's considered core curriculum, because core curriculum can really distance us from why we're trying to learn a thing. It can distance us from really understanding why it's important to us personally, how to use the thing. So I find when you bring in the skills that are required to build or design or make something look a certain way, make a certain sound, join with other people to make a certain sound, I think you've cut through a lot of layers of what's important for people working communally, which is what a classroom is about. And I think the arts really, it's an entry point. And there's so many ways you can approach the arts. Therefore, there's many entry points. And I think that's equity at its best, really trying to figure out how do I, as a teacher, make this happen so my students care about the work, find importance in the work, master the work, and build upon the work.
They get a chance to think deeply about how to teach content matter, in this case, different marine habitats, through the arts. So you see them creating the habitats over the course of the 3 weeks and singing songs, using academic vocabulary, practicing lots of different language functions related to the vocabulary, and all doing it through the arts. So they both get this really rich experience in arts and academic language, and they get kind of like a mini school year. So they have to plan curriculum, and they're given a key to their classroom, and they create the classroom and welcome the kids and families and build community really quickly.
I think they're given a good structure of a curriculum, a place of where to start, and then their creativity takes it from there.
So in terms of the adult, refinding their playfulness and the magic and the wonder in making and doing, that actually takes some peeling back of several layers that come with just growing up. And I find that's actually the key piece in teacher education, to give teachers the opportunity to start to unpack and unlearn some of that fear and trauma around what it means to just use materials, use your singing voice, move your body, take the shame away and the fear, because if those things aren't worked out and we don't give our graduate students an opportunity to think about that and reflect upon it and talk about it, they're not going to offer it to the students, because we usually don't teach what we're afraid of or what we don't know about. So continuously supporting our teachers to try and explore and just enjoy very simple infusions of what is considered artistic, but also artfulness. We all become very vulnerable. We reveal ourselves through our artwork and our artistic expression, and that when we have the right guides and the right support, we build upon that, and it becomes something that we actually crave, and we want to be in a learning community, and we're more committed. So on both sides, the adult and the child, it's how we build the equitable classroom, by being vulnerable and also trying things together and being able to laugh and sometimes even cry over what we discover as we move through learning.
I'm going to be setting up my own classroom in less than a month, you know, and so having this experience before that to just to see what it's like and to like kind of face the fears or like all the range of emotions of what it's like to build your classroom was really beneficial. But yeah, I think for me and for a lot of the DTE people, it was like, I'm ready. I'm a lot more ready than I thought I was.
It's funny because the best part about it and the hardest part about it are the same, and it's learning how to come in and just go and be in all the classes we have on campus and take on that work, and then coming here and taking on the work we have here. So it's kind of a perfect storm.
Every year at least one student says this, that they finally believe in the skills that they have because they are in control of the classroom, and they see where they bring in those practice skills for the first time as independent teachers, and they finally feel that moment of, not only do I know how to do this and do it well, but I know I did it well because the students are telling me and showing me what they understand.
It has been a pretty amazing program to see happen from the beginning to the end. Seeing our Learning Without Limits students walk into a space that they are very familiar with, but also with something very unknown teachers, unknown curriculum, and the teachers have just been pretty amazing, just being able to create a strong community like within a few days, and then really strong lesson planning, amazing curriculum. So at this point, at the end, you just hear kids randomly just talking about, well, you don't know about the wetlands, and well, you don't know about the estuary. You know, it's just like different habitats, and them feeling really strong and being experts in those areas. And then watching the teachers themselves grow from the very beginning, watching them growing in their teacher skin, and just the amount of growth that has happened for both teachers and students in 3 weeks is pretty fantastic.
It's really wonderful to see the growth from the incoming candidates to in the first summer to their experience in the second summer. As a program director, I'm incredibly proud and excited to see that the candidates that we're sending out into the world to teach are so strong and so thoughtful and able to really build this incredible program in just 3 weeks.